This certainly beats the last Earth party I attended on Hallows Eve.
How many people killed this guy?
Okay everyone, put on your seatbelts because this is going to be a wild ride. The newest episode of Helluva Boss is called Apology Tour, and this was gut-wrenching. But also, if you watch my previous video on the full moon episode, you see that I am not happy with how Stolas is acting. So, let's get started. Okay, so summary. This seems to be taking place after the full moon episode. Stolas is simply relaxing when Bliss sneaks in wanting to talk for once. Stolas isn't having any of it, not wanting to respond to any of his texts. Bliss wants to continue the transaction and feel as though he's earning his right into the human world. Stolas dismisses him, and again, just like the previous video I made, Stolas is a hypocrite in my opinion. He was the one who was making things super sexual to the point even Bliss was uncomfortable. But anyways, Stolas is still upset with him and doesn't want to talk. Bliss continues to try to convince him, but for one, Stolas is giving him the same energy. Stolas reveals that he was invited to an anti-Bliss party, a party that was made for all of Bliss's exes to completely trash on him. Bliss is obviously angry about this and wants to know who is the one hosting this party. Turns out it's our favorite succubus pop star Veronica Mayday. Now, something I'm confused about is how. How does she know they're basically broken up? Like, she was in the Ozzy episode, she was there, she saw them together, but she wasn't there during the full moon episode. That happened in private. I talked to a friend about this, and I've come to the conclusion that she invited him not knowing they broke up because she knew Stolas would be hurt by Bliss eventually, just like all the others. That's the only thing I can think of that would make the most sense, honestly. They continue to go back and forth. Bliss admits that he likes to end relationships fast because he said they're boring, but honestly, I don't think this is the whole truth. I think he ends relationships fast because he simply can't handle a real one. Stolas demands of him to leave, saying how uncomfortable this is making him feel. Bliss says that Stolas loves sleeping with beings he looks down on. Stolas retorts that he doesn't. Again, I really wish we had a genuine scene that showed he didn't look down at him for being an imp. Stolas mentions how Bliss speaks a lot like Striker, and then Stolas actually makes a very good point. Bliss didn't even bother trying to save Stolas. Stolas was literally their only way to get to the human world at the time, but instead he was worried about taking Luna to a vet. Bliss then says he didn't know he was capable, but that doesn't make any sense. How did he not know? He literally caught him trying to kill Stolas. Bliss then accidentally reveals that this wasn't the first time Striker tried to kill Stolas, which of course leaves Stolas shocked. Bliss tries to explain himself, trying to say he didn't know Stolas could actually get hurt, which makes no sense to me. Why did Bliss stop Striker from assassinating him if he really thought that? Anyways, they keep going back and forth, and Stolas still says he doesn't see him as better. He's been trying to spend time with him, supporting him, and wanting everyone to see how much he cares about him. But again, we don't see that really, so that's just BS. God, the beginning of this episode was so infuriating to rewatch. This whole argument just leads to Bliss wanting to prove that he can apologize to everyone he's wronged. Everyone but Stolas. So this leads into the montage of him making a list and apologizing to everyone. First one he apologized to was Martha from the very first episode of the show, and she's with Miss Mayberry, the demon that wanted her killed for sleeping with her husband. I honestly did not see this coming. Also, what happened to Martha's family? She had kids and a husband. But whatever, I could definitely ship this because this is just hilarious and amazing at the same time. Even the look on Blitz's face just says everything about this. So after that, we continue this apology tour with him giving gift baskets and letters to say sorry, except the cherubs, of course. But none of these are real apologies. He's just doing this to prove a point. There's moments when he stops and tries to text Stolas, but he just can't seem to bring himself. The one person in this episode that he honestly really wants to say sorry to. A part of me wished that maybe he tried to send a text to his sister Barbie Wire, or at least have a scene where he did in the past, but never got something. Because she wants nothing to do with him, and I seriously hope we find out why she cut him off entirely from her life. After finishing his list, he needs to go to the human world because there's a truckload of demons whose his exes he needs to apologize for, and they're all in one place. the hating Blitz party. We cut to Stolas, who actually showed up to the party, and he's pretty much by himself. There is a ton of demons here hurt by Stolas in the past. Soon we see our succubus queen, Veronica herself. She notices him and welcomes him to the party, offering him a slice of bliss cake, which he rejects. It is clear how much people in here hate Blitz to their very core. Blitz sneaks in and starts apologizing. He makes sure to hide his identity, knowing that if everyone saw him, they would make him a piñata. He goes outside where there's even more demons who hate him. Veronica's outside on the stage speaking, wanting Stolas to come up on the stage and talk about how much Blitz sucks, encouraging him to speak from the heart. Everyone here knows how he feels. This leads to a really good song called All To You, and honestly, I like this. This has to be one of my most favorite songs aside from Cotton Candy. And can I say, the animation is so beautiful. I could watch this show just for the animation alone, and the voice actor of Stolas is doing an amazing job. Like, keep it up. There's a moment in the song where he's like, okay, maybe some of this is my fault, but it gets immediately shut down by Veronica and Vortex. The look on Blitz's face when Stolas continues to sing, it really dawns upon him that he's messed up in his relationships, and unlike his past romantic relationships, this really hits him to the point that it looks like he might cry. He realizes that he needs to apologize for all the wrongdoing he's done to Stolas. You know, despite Stolas not apologizing either. Stolas is drunk and they go to have some privacy to talk. Stolas was still mad, especially that everyone but him is getting an apology. Blitz admits that Stolas was the only one he wanted to apologize to, and he can't help but wonder why a literal prince would care about a mere imp, which is one of the lowest classes of demons aside from the hounds. Stolas wants to know what it's like to be loved, to be cared and wanted, something he never got from his harpy of an ex-wife Stella. He describes how he wants a romantic life from those rom-coms he watches. He wants actual romantic love so badly he begins to cry. Blitz wanted to comfort him, but then a male succubus shows up, wanting to dance with him. Blitz decides to just let him, seeing that it will make him happy. While they dance, Blitz goes to talk to Veronica, who apparently knows that he's here. I assume that other demons told her about him. Blitz, of course, doesn't really give her a proper apology at first. Veronica asks him how does he think she feels when the fun guy she dated abandoned her all because she loved him, and how embarrassing it was for her. She still feels like a bad person for being so angry. She made this party so everyone else can cope, everyone that he hurt. Blitz admits that he actually is sorry, and that he doesn't want to be this way forever. Veronica and Blitz can see that Stolas is having fun with the succubus guy, and they actually kiss. Blitz displays jealousy, and Veronica says if Blitz wants to change, just say, good for him. Veronica actually gives him a piece of cake, and I think I know why. It's because she understands that Blitz belongs in this party, because he hates himself more than anyone else in this party can. And eventually, Blitz leaves the party, hating himself, and that's how the story ends. I'm gonna be honest. I thought this episode was fun to watch. The animation's fantastic, love the song, love that Martha and Mrs. Mayberry is canon and all, but I'm not exactly pleased with this episode also. We all understand that Blitz has his faults, we all know that, but this show treats Stolas as if he doesn't have any. Stolas isn't innocent in this relationship either, like at least in the song he actually kind of acknowledges that in the song, but still, this just isn't enough. I'm seriously hoping in the future episodes, we will have an episode where Stolas realizes that he's in fault too. You know, for a guy who says he thinks so highly of Blitz, he sure ain't acting like it. Stolas doesn't respect imps or see them as highly. He degrades Blitz, he degrades imps in general, he uses them as a stress toy. Like, I'm so frustrated with Stolas. Stolas talks about what he wants in a relationship, but so far we don't really see him actually trying to get to know Blitz, except I guess in the Aussies episode, but even then that was extremely awkward. But anyways, let me know in the comments how you feel about this episode and Stolas hates Blitz in general. Anyways, thank you for watching this video, really means a lot to me, and of course, stay amazing you stars.